In 2004, the original Mean Girls movie came out, and ever since has just become a cult classic that thousands of people look back on every single year. I was one of those people who watched it for the first time last year and really had a great time with it. It's just such a fun film starring Lindsay Lohan and Rachel McAdams, and they just do a fantastic job. And in 2017, the musical version of Mean Girls actually premiered on Broadway. So really ever since, it was kind of in the cards for some film studio to pick up the musical and make a film about it, and now it's here. The Mean Girls musical. It's the same story as before, with Katie Heron coming in from Africa and just kind of adjusting to the high school life of the Mean Girls world and being adopted into the popular girlfriend group called The Plastics, featuring the iconic character Regina George, who this time is played by Renee Rapp, who reprises her role from the Broadway show, and it shows. She is stellar as Regina George, and you can just really see how she embodies the character. It's actually her film debut, and I think that she knocked it out of the park and definitely stole the role from Anjali Rice, who plays Katie and is honestly probably the worst part of this film. As an actor, she was fine, but she just couldn't hold a tune even as well as Timothée Chalamet did in Wonka, and that's saying something because Chalamet definitely is not really a singer, and nor is Anjali Rice. But to me, of all the Plastics, the one who really stole the show was Karen, played by Avantika. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that properly, but she kills it. And specifically in this rendition of the song Sexy is just incredible. I mean, really steals the show every time she is on screen, along with Jaquel Spivey, who plays Damien. And I was a little worried based on the trailers that he would be really annoying in this film, but no, he was phenomenal. His jokes landed so much better in the context of the film than they did in the trailers, and also they hide his best jokes in the trailers. They do not show them. They show his worst jokes. And I am so glad that they saved his best ones for the film, because I hate when movies like to show the best aspects of themselves in their trailers and then not save anything good for when you actually watch the film. It's just such a disappointing experience, and thank you, Mean Girls, for not doing that. But anyways, actually just talking a little bit about the film itself, it was only made for $30 million because initially it was meant to be a Paramount Plus release. Just imagine what they could have done with this film if you've already seen it for just an extra $10 million or $20 million. You know, because look at the other musicals that have come out recently. Color Purple, it has a $100 million budget. Wonka, $125 million. So $30 million is minuscule. My point is just that a lot of the flaws I kind of see with this film, I think could have been solved with just having a bigger budget for you to create more sets and have more days to film and have more time to just do interesting camera work. But for a $30 million budget, they just do the best that they can, and I had a really good time. Specifically, one aspect of this film I was a little worried about going in, but actually really enjoyed, was their use of social media. I was worried based on the trailers that they would just use social media way too much in this film, kind of like what Dumb Money did, but no, this film sort of uses the perfect amount of social media where you get a little bit, but it doesn't overpower the film whatsoever. It just enhances it and makes it more funny and enjoyable. I really enjoyed all the social media stuff here. It was a great time. And yeah, that's just this film in general. It's a great time. It is not perfect. The musical set pieces do not expect anything as extravagant or wondrous as Wonka or The Color Purple, but do expect a good time. This film, to me, and I think to a lot of people, is kind of gonna be this year's Megan. Even though it's not a horror movie by any means, it just has a really iconic story to tell, led by a really iconic character in Regina George, just like Megan was led by Megan, who has become a really iconic character. And I expect this film to make back its $30 million budget and much, much more very quickly. I mean, it just has the makings to be one of the most successful January releases we have seen in a long, long time. With that being said, I am giving this movie 3.5 stars. I highly recommend it, especially if you are just looking for a musical to watch after having seen Wonka and The Color Purple. I think this will satisfy that musical craving for you, and also satisfy that Megan type of film craving that you might have, since it's January, and last January we had Megan to satisfy that. Thank you to everyone for tuning into this video. Please let me know in the comments down below your thoughts on this film if you have already seen it. Did you like it as much as I did? Did you like it more? Did you like it less? Why? Did you find issues with Andrea Rice's performance like I did? Or did you think that she did a pretty good job, and did you not mind her voice? Let me know in the comments down below, and while you're down there, please feel free to like and subscribe. This is a really small channel that I am so passionate about, and I would love to have your support. Again, thank you everyone for tuning in, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care.